What is up, everybody? This is Dapper Dan, the driver, coming to you here from Sacramento, and I'm here today to talk to you guys about my first couple months doing Uber and Lyft here in Sacramento area, and just want to let you guys know what I think about it and how it's working out for me. So, yeah, let's hit it. So I've been doing now Uber for about just coming up on 2 months, and I've been doing Lyft now for about 5 months. Started back in February, and that was the only one I was approved for at first, and just got started up with Lyft or Uber not too long ago. And so my first opinion on, I would say I'll do Uber first, and that's the more popular one in this area. I noticed with Uber, there's a pretty stable client base with it. I mean, here in Sacramento area, I live up in Roseville, and for the most part, I get some rides up here in Roseville, but for the most part, I'm driving down to Sacramento if I want to make money. And with Uber, I've noticed that there is usually pretty consistent rides, pretty consistent people. You can pretty much go on any time of the day or night, and there'll always be rides available. But I do notice a lot in Sacramento that there does tend to be sometimes where there's a lot smaller rides, mostly rides that are $2.50, $3, $4 maybe. If you're lucky, you'll get maybe like 5 or 6. But for the most part, a lot of people in Sacramento are just driving around downtown, going from bar to bar or just going short distances. And sometimes you won't make too much, but it's always consistent. Now, on the other hand, there's Lyft, and I do actually really enjoy Lyft. I actually do notice that I tend to, maybe it's just coincidence, but I do tend to get along a lot more with a lot of my riders on Lyft than I do with Uber. Not that I have disagreements with them, but I just notice that I tend to have a lot better conversation, better quality riders, people that are much more, I guess, I can't think of a word, but people that are more, I guess, cordial towards others. And I don't think that's specific to each platform. I just think maybe I just happen to get those people. But I do notice that Lyft does actually get me a little bit longer rides for the most part, and I usually make a little bit more money, but I don't get as many people with it, which kind of is like a counterbalance to it, I guess. But yeah, so for me, like I said, I've been driving Uber now for about 2 months, and I've been doing Lyft for about 5 months. For Uber, I've done about 140 rides in the time that I've had it, and I actually maintain a 4.93 rating on that, so that's pretty high. And for Lyft, I've done about 158 rides in 5 months. I kind of wasn't taking it super seriously up until I got approved for Uber. Then I started going and doing a lot more, picking up more hours. And for Lyft, I actually have a 4.76 rating, which isn't quite where I want it to be, but you know, could be better. Over time, it'll get better. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I really want to say that I really think that Uber is a great platform as far as consistency. I mean, I pretty much, if I'm doing Uber, there's hardly ever any times where I'm not having a ride or I'm not getting people, or there's not really a whole lot of downtime with Uber, which is, I mean, as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, which is what it is, I mean, that's what you want. You want to be maximizing your time so you can make the most money and the time that you're using. You don't want to be sitting around waiting to get rides. You want to be driving people, getting people in your car. That's what's the name of the game. And I really think that maybe one of the things that Lyft can do is just maybe, I don't know. I mean, for the most part, Lyft, they just kind of need to pick up their game and just get more people on board, get more people on the Lyft platform. Just because, I mean, when it comes to Uber, I talk to a lot of people when I'm driving, and I ask them their opinions and everything. And for the most part, the one thing that I hear the most is that when people think of ride-sharing apps in Sacramento, I would say about 80% of people immediately think, oh, I'm going to get myself an Uber. Oh, I've drank tonight. I need to get myself home. What am I calling? Calling an Uber. For the most part, Lyft doesn't really come to mind. So most people don't really consider Lyft instead of Uber. However, I think that Lyft is, I mean, the platforms are almost identical. I mean, the riders are pretty much going to be the same for the most part. I think it's just they just need to kind of try to make themselves more of a household name, I guess. But I mean, for me, driving in Sacramento, I love it. I mean, I'll work anywhere from 25 hours early in the month. Later on in the month, I'll pick up anywhere up to 35, 40 hours plus, depending on how much money I'm making. And I really think that both of them are great ways to make money. I mean, I don't like driving when it's like heavy traffic hour. And I mean, here in Sacramento, there's not a whole lot of boosts and a whole lot of surges that go on. I mean, for the most part, if you're lucky, on weekends where there's events, you'll get a boost of maybe 1.3, 1.4. If you're really lucky, you can get a 1.6, but that's only when it's like it's popping downtown. There's a bunch of events going on. Maybe like the fair is in, or they're having an event at the Golden One Center. I mean, those are like really the only times you're gonna get really big boosts. So for the most part, I'm driving, just doing standard Uber and Lyft, just making my one times fare. Just driving people for the distance I go. And so a lot of times I tend to stick to driving only when I'm driving at night. So for the most part, I'll start weekdays. I'll start at like 7 or 8 p.m. and I'll drive until 2. And here in Sacramento, I mean, yeah, there's not a whole lot of boosts or anything like that, but there is still rides. And on weekends, I mean, weekends downtown in Sacramento, it's popping. Like, that's where everybody's heading to. That's where everybody's at. Everybody, even from up here in Roseville, about 25, 30 minutes away, everybody from Roseville goes down to Sacramento for weekends to go drinking at the bars, to go whatever they're doing. I mean, pretty much everybody knows in this area. If you want to go down somewhere where all the parties are at, where everything is going, you go to downtown Sacramento. And so usually on weekends, that's what I'll do. I'll head down. I'll kind of drive up and down from here to Roseville, down to Sacramento, and back up. And I'll just kind of get people heading back up their way or going down that way. And it tends to work out. I mean, usually I can make pretty consistent money. I try to get mostly longer rides. I mean, for the most part, like I said, Sacramento, you're not going to be getting a lot of boosts. You're not going to be getting tons of surges. It's really not something that you can rely on consistently. However, you can consistently control when you drive and the places you're going to be at when you're driving, which is what I always aim for. Like when it comes to Sacramento, I'm not going to be at the event after it's already happening, because then everybody's already gone. Everybody already got their ride home. So if there's an event at the Golden One Center, you could bet if I know the event's ending at 8, I'm going to be there 7:45 waiting for my ride. And if I get somebody early, I'll take them to where they're going, and I'll double back, head back there, get another ride, and then mostly by the time I hit my second ride, it's already cleared out. Everybody's already gone. I mean, there might be a couple stragglers, but for the most part, everybody's already gotten their rides home. So, yeah, I mean, that's usually kind of the tactic I tend to work here. And in between, I'll kind of just drive the freeways, keep myself moving, and yeah, that's usually what I do. But I mean, I gotta say, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I do notice Uber makes more money. Yes, it really does. I mean, Lyft, like I said, I might get a couple rides that will be like 12, 13, 14 bucks. But Uber, I can go out there and I can have consistent work the whole day. And when it comes down to it, consistency is better in this game than having a couple of quality rides and then waiting in between. But that's just my opinion. That's what I think. These are the kind of things I've experienced over the first couple months driving for both Uber and Lyft. So, I mean, for any of the other guys who are out here, guys or girls driving out in Sacramento area, hit it up down below. Let me know what you think, your experiences. Let me know if you notice that there's tends to be better times or better locations here or there. And I don't know, maybe we can share some information, help our fellow Uber and Lyft drivers out, help everybody make some money in the meantime, right? But anyways, that's it. I'm Dapper Dan, the driver. And remember, every day is a Dapper day. Take care.